Right. So I just wanted to show the material which will be given. This is your question bank. Separately, we have theory material also. So this is our index. Mostly we have covered it in our index yesterday. So in CMA, do you have leasing decisions? Do we have leasing decisions? Yes. See the first chapter what I have included here. Time value of money. That is the reason we have started with time value of money. Yes. So let's continue with our decision. First one, time value of money. Yesterday, we just started with what are the possible scenarios. In time value of money, either we find out the value of today's investment in future, or what is the value of future maturity value as on today. Either we take the value from today to future or from future to today's value. What is the first thing we covered yesterday? How many cases are there? Overall, how many scenarios we created? These are the various scenarios we have. Future value, present value. In future value, again we have two categories. Single cash flow, multiple cash flows. Present value also single cash flow and multiple cash flows. Multiple cash flows also we have even cash flows and uneven cash flows. Even cash flows is also called as annuity. Malli annuity lo again you have whether those cash flows are occurring at the end of the year or beginning of the year. If those are occurring at the end of the year, what we call it as annuity, regular or ordinary annuity. If these even cash flows are occurring at the end of the period, we can call it as ordinary annuity or regular. If it is beginning of the period, annuity due or immediate, annuity immediate. How many cases are coming? Can you tell me? Total how many cases here? This one is 1, 2. Future value of single cash flow, present value of single cash flow. This one is 3. This one is 4. This one is 5. This one is 6. Again, end of the year, beginning of the year. This can be taken as 7. This is 8. Then we have perpetuity also. Indefinite period, if you get cash flows, whether it is inflow or outflow, perpetuity we call it as. So these are the various scenarios. So yesterday we understood how to calculate future value of single cash flow. Cash flow means what? Inflow or outflow. It could be inflow or outflow. Now today if there is an outflow, investment, then how do you calculate the future value of that today's investment? What is the formula we should apply? Present value or investment into 1 plus your time value of money whole power n. Yes. Let me show you already written notes so that quickly we can finish off the topic. So here already this point we covered, this one. Which one do you prefer? Today's 1000 rupees or 1000 rupees a year later? How many types of interest are there? Yesterday we did not talk about that. Interests are of two types. Simple interest and compounding interest. Which interest is generally considered in market? Compounding interest. We people when we lend, generally when we lend to others, we take simple interest only. Every year we calculate on original principal only. But in financial world, what is considered? Compounding interest is only considered. Compounding interest is only considered. That compounding can happen once in a year, half yearly it can happen, quarterly it can happen, monthly it can happen, daily it can happen, continuously also it can happen. This compounding. So what is simple interest? Interest calculated on initial amount. Initial amount or initial investment can also be called as present value. Today's investment, can I call it as present value? Yes, is known as simple interest. So whenever you calculate interest on always your initial principal, we call it as what? Simple interest. So that is what is shown here. If your principal amount is say 5,000 rupees, interest rate is how much? 8% per annum. Then every year today's present value is how much? 5,000. Every year your interest will remain same. On original principal only you will calculate what? Interest. So what is the total amount at the end of 3 years means your original principal plus 3 years interest will be your maturity value under simple interest scenario. అంతేనా? దీన్ని ఎలా చేయొచ్చు మనం డైరెక్ట్గా? We know that every year it is 8%. 3 years means how much? 24%. So directly 5,000 into 24% if you do, you will get how much? Direct full interest or not? Or as shown here, your maturity value under simple interest will consist of principal plus interest amount. How do you calculate interest amount? Principal into interest rate. If you take P common here, principal common, then 1 plus interest rate. 1 plus or 1 P plus, in this place I am writing P into Sima here, principal plus, how do you get interest amount? Principal amount into interest rate. If I take P common, what I am getting? Tell me. P if I take common, 1 plus interest rate. Yes or no? So like that you can take 5,000 plus 5,000 into 24%. You can take 5,000 common, 1 plus interest rate. That means 1.24 into 5,000 also you can get what? Maturity value. As I told you, in real life, there is no use of simple interest. That is the reason yesterday we did not talk about that, assuming that you know that. Even in your bank account also, your savings account, which interest they pay? Simple interest or compounding interest? Compounding interest only they will pay. And bank will compound your interest on a daily basis. Bank manaki interest anedi compounding yearly chestunda, monthly chestunda ante daily basis they are going to do it. Not continuous basis, daily basis. That is the reason we started with directly which one? Compound interest only. So in compound interest case, every year you will calculate on original principal. No. Under compound interest, every year interest, first year interest will be on original principal only, investment amount only. But second year onwards, second year nunchi emautundi? On interest also again you will calculate what? Interest. Compound interest means interest on interest. So second year onwards what will happen is you start calculating interest on original principal as well as what? Interest. If you remember yesterday's example, 10,000 original, first year interest 10,000, on that 10%. 1100 is the end of the first year value. Again next year how much I am investing? Assuming that I did not withdraw 100 rupees, entire 1100 I am reinvesting. Then next year what is the principal amount? 1100. On 1100 into 10%. That means on interest again we calculated interest or not? That is called as compound interest. So in this case I have shown example of 5,000 rupees. You can see here how much example here I have taken. 5,000 rupees is the investment amount. We can also call it as present value. Interest rate is how much? 8% per annum compounded annually. Interest is paid. What is the meaning of compounded annually? interest will be calculated for every year. Every year, once in a year. So today, how much is your investment? 5,000. First year, what will be your interest amount? 5,000 into 8%. See, first year, whether it is simple interest or compound interest, the calculation remains same. Second year onwards, the interest calculation will start differing. చూడండి ఇప్పుడు 5,000 into 8% కొడితే మనకి ఎంత వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ 400. So what is the maturity value, future value? 5,400. Now this 5,400 you will reinvest. Second year, what is your investment now? 5,400. Now you will calculate interest on which one? 5,400. So 5,400 into 0.08. 8% is nothing but 0.08. You are getting how much? 432. That is the interest for which year? Second year. And what is the investment for second year? 5,400. So add that 5,400. You are getting 5,832. So what is your future value for your investment today of 5,000 at the end of second year? 5,832. Okay. This is future value at second period end. Can I add these three figures, 5,000, 5,400 and 5,832? Can I say that is my cash flow? No. So that is the reason intermediate cash flows cannot be compared. Either you have to compare in terms of present value or you should take future value. అక్కడికైనా వెళ్ళి కంపేర్ చేయాలి లేదా ఇక్కడికైనా వచ్చి కంపేర్ చేయాలి. Either you have to come to present terms and compare or you have to go to what? Future terms and you can compare. You cannot compare in between cash flows. This is also a very important point. One more important point is in this compound interest calculation, yesterday also I told you, every year interest is assumed to be reinvested. Every year interest is assumed to be reinvested. But if you are withdrawing the amount, then your simple interest as well as compound interest will give the same maturity value. Let us see now. Under compound interest, how much is the interest we got for 2 years? No, 5,832 is not the interest amount. 832 is only our interest amount. Correct? What is the assumption behind those calculations? Intermediate period interest, that is first year 400 is reinvested or not? Is not received or paid. That is the assumption. You also make note of that in your yesterday's example, whatever you quoted. Intermediate period interest. Yes, you write intermediate period intermediate period interest is not received or paid. Intermediate, just write intermediate period interest is not received or paid. That is the assumption. Okay. What if they withdraw that interest or interest is paid? If interest is paid, what will happen? Suppose intermediate period interest, that is 400 at the end of first year, is received on same date. అప్పుడు నెక్స్ట్ ఇయర్కి ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ అమౌంట్ ఎంత చెప్పండి? సెకండ్ ఇయర్ వాట్ ఇస్ ద ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ అకౌంట్? 5,000 only. So what will be the interest? 400 only, which is nothing but simple interest only, no? So that is what is written here. Suppose intermediate period interest 400 rupees at the end of first year is received on same date. In this case, interest at second year end should be 5,000 into 8%, that is 400. In this case, we can say compound interest amount and simple interest amount are same. So if interest is paid, then compound interest amount, simple interest amount will remain same. That point also you can write in your notebook. If, second point, if intermediate period interest is received on same date, Then interest. Interest will remain same. Interest will remain same under simple case and compounding case. Interest will remain same under simple case and compounding case. Interest will remain same under simple and compounding case. Done, ma? Yes. In the question, if nothing is mentioned regarding whether interest is received or not, what is the assumption we should take? Always we should assume that it is not received. It is reinvested only. That point also you can write. If question is silent, assume intermediate period interest is not received. If question is silent, assume intermediate period interests are not received or paid. Done, ma'am? This yesterday already I have shown you how to calculate interest at the end of first year, second year, and what is the formula behind it. What is the formula? Present value into 1 plus time value of money. What is time value of money? Interest. Whole power n. You can see how many ways are there to calculate that. One is directly using what? Formula, or in your calculator, the same 5,832, how you can get 5,000 plus 8% plus 8%. Just check now in your calculator. In that manner also we can get. There are multiple ways to get the answer. Here, what n stands for? Formula is present value into 1 plus I whole power n. What I stands for? Interest rate per annum. Yes, this I and n should be for same period of time. If n is number of years, interest also should be for same period. So here I is equal to rate of interest for n period. N is equal to number of periods. Better you call it as periods instead of calling it as a year, because that period can change or not, period of investment can change. Right. Now yesterday we completed up to here, present future value of single cash flow. Now I told you that compounding can happen more than once in a year or not? Yes. Now see, compounding can be annual compounding, semi-annual compounding, or quarterly compounding, monthly compounding, daily compounding, continuously compounding. Okay. So this is not applicable for you. That was in CA intermediate. For CA final, continuous compounding we will apply. In derivatives, we will apply continuous compounding. Remember that. Continuous means you can say every hour, every minute, every second. Yes, stock market, every second the price will change or not. So especially for valuation of their securities there, we use this continuous compounding. Especially when we do these derivatives, how to determine futures value, options, we use this continuous compounding only there. There we apply this concept. Now let's understand now what is the change in our formula. What is the change in our formula here? See here only. Next thing is types of compounding. Second one, Types of compounding. We are in still first formula only. What is that? Future value of single cash flow only. If it is annual compounding, I will give you time now to write. Just concentrate. Observe the notes here. If it is annual compounding, how many days, for how many days interest will be calculated? 365 days. 365 days or 1 year or not? Yes. Then what is your formula? Periodic interest rate will be directly will take what? 1 plus I whole power n. Say 12% per annum is your interest. 12% per annum is your interest. So now what you will write in this? What is this called as? Yesterday I told you. This 1 plus I whole power n is called as? దీన్ని ఏమంటారని చెప్పాను నేను? ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ లేదా ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఫ్యాక్టర్ లేదా కాంపౌండింగ్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. 1 ప్లస్ ఐ హోల్ పవర్ అన్ని ఏమంటాం మనం? ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్. దీని మీనింగ్ చెప్పండి నాకు ఒకసారి. ఎఫ్విఐఎఫ్ 15% కామా 3 years ఇచ్చాడంటే దీని మీనింగ్ ఏంటి చెప్పండి. If I invest 1 rupee today, after 3 years at 15% rate of interest, what is the value of 1 rupee after 3 years? That is the meaning of future value interest factor. There are two ways to do this. ఏంటది? ఒకటి, one is directly using the formula. What is that? 1 plus, what is the rate of interest? 15% అంటే 15 by 100 whole power 3. క్యాలిక్యులేటర్లో ఎలా చేయాలి ఇది? 1.15 into 1.15 into 1.15. How much you are getting? 1.521. Sometimes they will give you directly this value in the question as a hint with reference to table. How to టేబుల్లో మనం చూసి ఏ టేబుల్ చూడాలి, దాన్ని ఎలా చూడాలో చూద్దాం ఇప్పుడు. విల్ అండర్స్టాండ్ దట్ ఆల్సో. యూజింగ్ టేబుల్ హౌ టు గెట్ ద వాల్యూ. చూడండి ఇక్కడ పేరేముంది దీనికి? వాట్ ఈస్ ద నేమ్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ టేబుల్? Future value interest factor of an ordinary annuity. Ordinary means what I told you, end of the year. If nothing is given in the question, always we assume that cash flows occur at the end of the period only, and that means always we assume it is ordinary only. In general, cash flows will occur at the end of the period only assumption. అందులో మళ్ళీ 2 categories చెప్పిన కదా, ఈవెన్ అన్ఈవెన్ మల్టిపుల్ అయితే. Now annuity, this is which one? This is annuity. Are we covering annuity now? No. Future value interest factor మర్చిపోయారమ్మా మీరు? I think you forgot. In the chart, when we are in this case multiple లో ఈవెన్ అయితే we call it as what? Annuity. అందులో కూడా ఆర్డినరీ యాన్యుటీ, డ్యూ. ఇప్పుడు ఆ టేబుల్ ఏ టేబుల్ అది? ఆర్డినరీ యాన్యుటీ కదా. ఆ టేబుల్లో మనకు కావాల్సింది నో, ఈ టేబుల్ కావాలి. అంటే సింగిల్, అదేనా? అది ఎక్కడ ఉంటుందో చూడండి. అది ఇదే టేబుల్ చూడండి, ఇదేనా టేబుల్? ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఆఫ్ 1 rupee per period at I percentage for how many periods? n periods. ఇక్కడ యాన్యుటీ అని లేదు కదా. యాన్యుటీ అంటే ఏంటో తెలుసా? మల్టిపుల్ సేమ్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లోస్. సో దిస్ ఈస్ యువర్ సింగిల్ క్యాష్ ఫ్లో ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ టేబుల్. దిస్ ఈస్ దీన్ని చూసైనా గుర్తుపట్టాలి కదా మీరు. సారీ, present value, no, this is, you're not telling me that also. That is which one? Present value కదా. మనం డిస్కస్ చేస్తుంది ఏంటి? ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ. ఇదేనా? The compound sum of 1 rupee in future period. FPIF, I, N. ఇప్పుడు మనం తీసుకున్న ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఏంటి? 15%. హౌ మెనీ ఇయర్స్? 3 years. ఎంత వచ్చింది మనకి ఆన్సర్? సో వీ హ్యావ్ టు లుక్ ఎట్ పీరియడ్ ఫస్ట్. హౌ మెనీ ఇయర్స్? 3 years. వాట్ ఈస్ ద రేట్ ఆఫ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వీ హ్యావ్ టేకెన్? ఇక్కడ 10% వరకు ఉంది, నెక్స్ట్ పేజ్లో ఉంటుంది. 15%, 1.521, అంతేనా? సో ఇక్కడ మనకి కాంపౌండింగ్ అనేది యాన్యువల్ కాంపౌండింగ్ అయినా జరిగింది, అంతేనా? ఎస్. సో యాన్యువల్ కాంపౌండింగ్ జరిగినప్పుడు మనకి ద ఫార్ములా ఇస్ సేమ్ ఓన్లీ 1 + I హోల్ పవర్ n. బట్ ఇన్ దిస్ కేస్ దీన్ని ఎలా రాయొచ్చు అంటే 1 + పీరియాడిక్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్. 1 + periodic interest rate. Here I have written that no, duration of one period. Annual compounding means what is the duration of the period? 1 year. How many times conversions will happen? Number of times interest calculations will happen only once in a year. Only one time it will happen. And periodic interest rate, PIR, it is annual rate only, isn't it? Now, if it is semi-annual, how many times interest calculation? What is the period of interest calculation? 6 months. How many times it will happen in a year? 2 times. Now, what is the change you should make in your interest rate? Yes, see here. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, 15% per annum అన్నప్పుడు యాన్యువల్ కాంపౌండింగ్ అంటే 3 years అంటే మీరు ఏం చేశారు? 1.15 హోల్ పవర్ 3. ఇప్పుడు సెమీ యాన్యువల్ అయితే, సెమీ యాన్యువల్ కాంపౌండింగ్ tell me how many time, for what period you will calculate interest? Every 6 months or not? How many times interest you will calculate? 2 times. In a year, how many times you will calculate? 2 times. Now, how do you express the formula future value factor? Yes, our annual rate of interest, periodic interest rate ఏమవుతుందో తెలుసా? ఇక్కడ ఏం చేయాలంటే 15% should be proportionately considered, అంటే 6/12. ఓకే, ఎంత అవుతుంది అది? 7.5%. అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలంటే అప్పుడు మన ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఫ్యాక్టర్ ఫార్ములాలో 1.1 + 0.075 హోల్ పవర్ హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ ఇన్ ఏ ఇయర్? ఒకవేళ ఈ 1 year అయితే ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ అయితే హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్? 2 times. మన ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో 3 years తీసుకున్నాం కదా. 3 years అయితే మనకి ఎన్నిసార్లు కాంపౌండింగ్ జరుగుతుంది 3 years లో? 3 × 2. 3 years, 2 times in a year. So 6 times compounding will happen or not? Yes. Okay, next. If it is quarterly compounding అయితే periodicity, for how many months you will get interest? Every 3 months you will get interest. Okay, in a year how many times you will get interest? 4 times. Okay, and now your annual interest is 15 into 1/4 I can write, or I can take 4 divided by 12 also I can take, or not? Yes. Then what is the interest rate applicable now? 3.75% for how many months? 3 months. Yearly how many times compounding is happening? అప్పుడు మన ఫార్ములా FPIF 1 + 0.0375 whole power 3 into 4. Why 4 times compounding is happening in a year or not? So whole power 12. Correct? Yes or no? Next, that is compounding quarterly. Monthly aithe, monthly scenario, what is the period? 1 month. In a year, how many times? 12 times. So అప్పుడు ఏం చేయాలి మనం? 15 divided by 12. Monthly interest rate వస్తుంది మనకి 1.25%. అప్పుడు 1 plus 0.0125 whole power అంతేనా? whole power 3 into 12, 36. అంతేనా? అదే డైలీ కాంపౌండింగ్ అయితే బ్యాంక్ లో జరిగేది డైలీ కాంపౌండింగే కదా. ఇన్ బ్యాంక్స్ డైలీ కాంపౌండింగ్ ఓన్లీ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ ఆన్ ద డేస్ క్లోజింగ్ అవుట్ స్టాండింగ్ బ్యాలెన్స్ దే విల్ క్యాలిక్యులేట్ ది ఇంట్రెస్ట్. 1 day. Here 365 times compounding will happen. ఇక్కడ ఏమవ్వాలి? 15% for how many days? 365 days only. No, 1 day. No, 1 divided by 365 we should do it. Understood? No, just knowledge you should get. So these are the various scenarios I have given here. In case of daily compounding, your annual interest rate, annual rate into 1 divided by 365. That rate you can consider. Continuous compounding is something new. Continuous compounding means you should understand as compounding for every second, compounding for every minute, compounding for every hour. And whenever it is continuous compounding, naturally this figure should be more than 365 only or not. But that should be considered as what? Infinite. Very large figure. Almost your interest will be nearer to 0. దీనికే మనకి ఎంత వచ్చింది? ఇందాక 15 divided by 365 కొడితే మీకు ఎంత వచ్చింది? చాలా నెగ్లిజిబుల్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వచ్చింది కదా. ఇంకా మనం ఇన్ఫినిట్ పీరియడ్ తీసుకొని కొడితే ఆల్మోస్ట్ 0కి ఈక్వల్ ఉంటుంది అనమాట. అండర్స్టూడ్? దిస్ ఇస్ కాల్డ్ యాజ్ కంటిన్యూస్ కాంపౌండింగ్. సో ఇక్కడ మీకు ఫస్ట్ కాలం ఏం చెప్తుంది? వాట్ ఈస్ ది నేమ్ ఆఫ్ ద కాంపౌండింగ్. సెకండ్ కాలం ఏం చెప్తుంది? ఇంట్రెస్ట్ అనేది ఎన్ని పీరియడ్స్ కి మనం ఇంట్రెస్ట్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ ఇస్ ఫర్ వాట్ పీరియడ్, the duration of one period, conversion period this is. And third column is how many times interest is calculated in a year for 1 year. And fourth one is how do you calculate periodic interest rate. Periodic means what? Proportionately for the period how you calculate interest rate. This is your types of compounding. But in case if compounding is happening more than once in a year, if you want me to give you a formula, what is the formula is present value into 1 plus I divided by m whole power n into m. What is this m, sir? Number of times compounding in a year. Number of times compounding in a year. దీన్ని మనం ఏమంటామంటే I divided by m, periodic interest rate. What we call this as? Periodic interest rate. So PV into 1 plus periodic interest rate whole power what? N into m. Number of times compounding. Like that formula also you can apply. Okay, after that we will cover the techniques of calculator, how to use calculator effectively. So you can make a note of these types of compounding. Otherwise I will write here so that you can understand properly. Have you given heading types of compounding? Write a note below that first. Interest compounding period depends on Investment time period. Interest compounding period depends on investment time period. Type of compounding. Duration of one period. Duration of one period. Then number of periods in 1 year. Number of periods in 1 year. And periodic interest rate. Periodic interest rate. First one, annual compounding. Annual compounding. What is the duration of one period? 1 year. Number of periods in 1 year? One only. So periodic interest rate itself is annual interest rate. Annual interest rate, AR. Annual interest rate. Okay, now semi-annual. Semi-annual compounding, duration of one period is 6 months. Duration of one period is 6 months. In 1 year, how many times, how many periods you will have? How many 6 months periods you will have in 1 year? Two. Two you will have number of periods in 1 year, n. Two. Periodic interest rate. Periodic interest rate ఎంత అవుతుంది? యాన్యువల్ రేట్ ఇంటూ 6/12. Quarterly compounding. What is the period? One period is equal to how many months? 3 months. One period is equal to 3 months. And what is the number of periods in a year? 3 months period. 4. Proportionately, how much will be the interest applicable? Annual rate into 3/12. Monthly compounding. So 1 month. 1 month. How many 1 month periods you will have in a year? 12. So annual rate of interest into 1/12 months. Next, daily compounding. Used by banks. Used by banks. What is the period of interest calculation? 1 day. So how many times, how many periods you will have in 1 year? 365 times you will calculate interest. Annual interest rate into 1 divided by 365. Next, continuous compounding. Continuous compounding, where it is used, I told you. Valuation of futures. Valuation of futures in derivatives. Valuation of futures options in derivatives. Valuation of futures and options in derivatives. There we use this continuous compounding. What is the duration of continuous compounding? 1 hour or 1 minute or 1 second. Especially futures, every second it will change. You know, in stock market, share price will change for every second. So that to calculate the future price, I will take 1 second only as continuous compounding period. This one is very large number. So that is infinity. This one will be nearer to 0. Your periodic interest will be nearer to 0. Very negligible you will have. Done everyone? Yes. Now I'll show you one problem just to get used to these calculations. Then we'll move to calculator usage. I've given some tricks there. Time value of money. So I kept only annuity related problems here. One problem is there. Annuity, future value of annuity only. This one we can do. This is relating to future value. A person opened an account on 1st April 2009 with a deposit amount of 80,000. So how much he deposited on 1st April? 80,000. The account paid 6% per annum interest compounded what? Quarterly. 6% per annum interest compounded quarterly. On 1st October 2009, he closed the account and added enough additional money to invest in a 1-year time deposit earning 8% per annum compounded half yearly. So that money will become 3 lakhs on 1st October 2010. How much additional amount did the person invest on 1st October 2009? When did he invest amount? 2009. How much money he invested? 80,000 rupees he invested. At what rate of interest? 6% per annum compounded quarterly. Correct? Then on 1st October 2009, what he has done? 1st October 2009 రోజు ఏం చేశాడు మనోడు? విత్డ్రా చేశాడు మనీ. హీ క్లోజ్డ్ ది అకౌంట్. మరి క్లోజ్ చేసినప్పుడు మనకి మెచ్యూరిటీ వాల్యూ వస్తుందా లేదా? ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, ఎన్ని మంత్స్ ఇక్కడ? 1st ఏప్రిల్ నుంచి 1st అక్టోబర్ అంటే 6 మంత్స్కి మనకి ఇంట్రెస్ట్ వస్తుందా? సో చెప్పండి, ఆ రోజు ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఎంత? ఎలా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేయాలి ఫ్యూచర్ వాల్యూ ఆ రోజు? ఇప్పుడు చెప్పండి, ఇది క్వార్టర్లీ కాంపౌండింగ్ కదా. క్వార్టర్లీ కాంపౌండింగ్ లో పీరియడ్, one period is equal to how many months? 3 months. And what is our investment period? చాలా జాగ్రత్తగా వినాలి. What is our investment period? ఎన్ని months? 6 months. And what is the period of interest? 3 months. అంటే ఎన్నిసార్లు కాంపౌండింగ్ జరిగింది 6 months లో? 2 times జరిగింది. 6 months ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ పీరియడ్ లో 2 times కాంపౌండింగ్ జరిగిందా లేదా? ఎస్. చూడండి, 80,000 ఇంటూ వాట్ ఈస్ అవర్ పీరియాడిక్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్? 6% పర్ యానం కదా. మరి పీరియాడిక్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ రేట్ అంటే ఎన్ని మంత్స్ తీసుకోవాలి మనం? 3 months. సో 6 into 3/12 కొట్టండి. 6 into 3/12 అంటే 1/4. 6/4 కొట్టండి. 1 ప్లస్ ఎంత వచ్చిందమ్మా అది? 1.5. సో 1.5 డివైడెడ్ బై 100 కొట్టండి. Point 015. 0.015. Whole power, how many periods compounding will happen now? Tell me. What is our investment period? 6 months. Investment period is 6 months. How many times compounding is happening in 6 months? 2 times every 3 months. So whole power 2. అంతేనా? ఎస్. లేదా ఫార్ములానే బ్లైండ్, ఇది కాన్సెప్చువల్గా చేసాం కదా మనము. దిస్ వీ హ్యావ్ డన్ కాన్సెప్చువల్లీ ఆర్ నాట్ యూజింగ్ ఎనీ ఫార్ములా. Conceptually, how we have done? We have taken periodic interest rate. That means for our 3 months we have taken interest. So this is for 3 months. Even our periods also for what? In terms of 3 months only. Blindly if you are applying formula, what is the formula? Present value 80,000 into 1 plus interest rate per annum. Inta interest rate per annum 6% divided by number of times compounding. Number of times compounding in our investment period. How many times compounding will happen? I mean, what is the period of compounding? How many times compounding will happen? 2 times compounding will happen or not? That is for 6 months period. In a year, 4 times. Our n is equal to 1 year or not? Our n is equal to 1 year. But what is our investment period? 6 months. 6 months only, not 1 year here. So can I take here 0.5 years? How many years? 0.5 years is our investment period or not? Into number of times compounding is in a year? 2 times? Yes. So, but if I take 2 here, both are in terms of what? This is in terms of, is it 1 year? Or what you can do is 1 year into what is our investment period? 6/12. Whole power, how many times our compounding you should get? Let me do one thing here. I will do monthly wise here, you will understand. That will be better. What I will do is I will convert this into per month basis. I will convert that into per month basis. Here my compounding is happening every quarter. First you tell me that how many times, I mean what is the duration of our interest calculation? 3 months. You are forgetting that. Don't forget the basic thing. Every 3 months interest is calculated. So number of times compounding that will happen in 6 months period is 2 times. Year అయితే 4 times అయినా, అందుకే 4 వేసాను. అప్పుడు మనకి ఎంత వచ్చింది? 6/4 కొడితే మీకు ఎంత వచ్చింది? 1.5 వచ్చింది కదా. ఇప్పుడు నాకు చెప్పండి, ఈ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ ఏదైతే వచ్చిందో 1.5 ఈజ్ ఫర్ హౌ మెనీ మంత్స్? 1.5 is for how many months? 3 months. So when it is for 3 months, When I take the whole power, number of period also should be for 3 months or not? Number of periods also for 3 months. But what is our investment period? 6 months. So how many 3 months period will have in 6 months investment period? 2 will have or not? 2. Yes or no? Now, if I want to use, this is logic wise we have done or not? This purely based on logic we have done. అదే ఫార్ములా బేస్ మీద చేయాలంటే మనం ఫార్ములా మీకు ఏమి ఇచ్చాను నేను 1 plus I divided by m whole power n into m. If you want to apply formula here, 1 plus I means interest rate per annum. How much is interest rate per annum? How many times compounding is happening in a period? M is number of times compounding in a period. What is the period of investment? 6 months. In 6 months, how many times compounding is happening? 2 times. Then what is our investment period? 6 months. 0.5. 6 months means what? Or fraction lo pettukondi poni 6 divided by 12 into how many times compounding is happening? 2 times. అంతేనా? అప్పుడు మనకి ఏమొస్తుంది? 2 6 అంటే మనకి ఏమొస్తుంది? 1 వస్తుందా? ఎస్. అప్పుడు ఎంత అవుతుంది చెప్పండి? 1 plus 6 by 12 అంటే 3%. 1.03 whole power what? 1. అంటే ఓన్లీ 1 టైమే కాంపౌండింగ్ జరుగుతుంది. ఎప్పుడు? when I take interest what? 3%. కానీ this is logically not correct. Why? Interest compounding will happen for every 3 months. But here 3% interest is for how many months? 6 months. Formula wise if you check there, 3% is per every 6 months కాబట్టి అందుకే హోల్ పవర్ ఏమేసాం అక్కడ 1 టైం వేసాం బికాస్ కాంపౌండింగ్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ ఓన్లీ వన్స్ 6 months అయితే. మరి చెప్పండి ఇక్కడ ఏం తీసుకుంటే మనకు అక్కడ కూడా 2 times వస్తుంది. ఇక్కడ మనం ఏం తీసుకుంటే అక్కడ కూడా మనకి 2 times వస్తుంది కాంపౌండింగ్. ఇక్కడ 4 తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. హౌ మెనీ టైమ్స్ కాంపౌండింగ్ విల్ హ్యాపెన్ ఇన్ ఏ ఇయర్? 4 times it will happen or not? Yes. తర్వాత మన ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ పీరియడ్ ఏంటి? our investment period is 6 months. And how many times compounding will happen in a year? 6 months ని మనం ఎలా రిప్రజెంట్ చేయొచ్చు? 0. Yes, 0.5 పెట్టవచ్చు into how many times compounding is happening in a year? 4 times. In the formula ప్రకారం n into m అని చెప్పాను కదా. సో m ఎంత ఇక్కడ? 4. మరి ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం తీసుకోవాలి? 4 తీసుకోవాలి కదా. అండ్ ఇన్వెస్ట్మెంట్ పీరియడ్ ఎంత? 0.5. సో 0.5 into 4 ఎంత? 2. అంతేనా? సో ఇది ఫార్ములా వైజ్. See how many complications you are getting if you are using formula. First of all, you should know what n stands for. N అనేది ఏంటి? Our period of investment. That is the clarity you should get. In our question, 6 months is a period of investment. N into our number of times compounding in a period of investment. Within this period, how many times compounding is happening? 2 times compounding is happening. How many times compounding is happening? 2 times. So ultimately గా మనకి ఇక్కడ ఆన్సర్ ఏం రావాలి? 2 రావాలి. సో 2 రావాలంటే వచ్చిందా ఇప్పుడు 2 మనకి? whole power 0.5 into in a year how many times compounding is happening? 4. ఇక్కడ సింపుల్ అమ్మా. ఇక్కడ 4 తీసుకుంటే ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏం తీసుకోవాలి? 4 తీసుకోవాలి కదా. కింద m పైన కూడా n into m. సో ఇప్పుడు మ్యాచ్ అయింది కదా మనకి ఆన్సర్. ఇక్కడ ఏమొచ్చింది? 0.5 into 4 2. ఇక్కడ 1.5. అదే కదా ఇక్కడ కూడా తీసుకుంది మనం డైరెక్ట్ గా. అర్థమైందా? సో ఫార్ములా వేసినా కూడా మనకి అదే ఆన్సర్ వస్తుంది. ఇట్ విల్ నాట్ చేంజ్. నౌ టెల్ మీ వాట్ ఈస్ ది మెచ్యూరిటీ వాల్యూ? 80,000 into 1.015 into 1.015 into 80,000. This is a 18. Now what that fellow has done is he has added enough additional money to invest in a 1 year time deposit. Earnings how much? Earning 8% per annum compounded half year. ఇప్పుడు మనోడు ఏం చేశాడంటే ఇంకా ఎక్స్ట్రా మనీ యాడ్ చేసి ఆ అమౌంట్ డిపాజిట్ చేశాడంట. దట్ అమౌంట్ హీ హాస్ డిపాజిటెడ్. హౌ మచ్ మనీ హీ ఈస్ రిసీవింగ్? 82,480 plus he also contributed some additional money which is not given here, and that money he has invested for what amount? What rate of interest? 8% per annum compounded. What is this additional money? I don't know. This total money he invested for 1 year time deposit earning 8% per annum compounded half yearly, so that this money will become how much? 3 lakhs on 1st October. మనం ఏ రోజు ఉన్నాం? 1st October 2009. ఇక్కడ నుంచి ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ 1 year అంటే 1st October 2010. మన అమౌంట్ ఎంతో తెలియదు, అది మనకు తెలియదు, అడిషనల్ అమౌంట్ తెలియదు కాబట్టి మొత్తం అమౌంట్ ఎంత, హౌ మచ్ అమౌంట్ హీ హాస్ ఇన్వెస్టెడ్ వి డోంట్ నో. బికాస్ వి ఓన్లీ నో withdrawal amount, but additional amount how much he contributed, that we don't know. So therefore this also we don't know, but he gave this amount, future value he gave on 1st October 2010. He gave the future value or not? Yes, we know the formula now. What is the formula for future value? Present value into 1 plus I whole power n. But here compounding is happening more than once in a year or not? Tell me now. 1 year, but compounding is happening every, see here what he has given, half yearly. In 1 year how many 6 months you'll have? 2. So what I will do is, now I don't know what is the present value, but I know what is the future value. What is the future value? Present value I don't know, into 1 plus our interest now should be for 6 months. 6 months kena? Not 6 months. It is 6 months only. How much is the interest rate given? 8% per annum. 8 into 6 by 12. Inta? 4. So 0.04. Correct na interest rate. Whole power in a year, how many times compounding will happen if it is half yearly compounding? 2 times. So 3 lakhs is equal to present value into 1.04 whole power 2. How much you are getting? 1.04 into 1.04. 1.04 into 1.04. 1.0816. Therefore, present value $77,000. ఇప్పుడు ఇది ఆ రోజు ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేసింది. తర్వాత మెచ్యూరిటీ అమౌంట్ ఎంత వచ్చింది వాడికి ఆ రోజు అకౌంట్ క్లోజ్ చేసిన తర్వాత, ఆఫ్టర్ క్లోజింగ్ ద అకౌంట్, మెచ్యూరిటీ అమౌంట్ వాట్ ఈ రిసీవ్డ్ ఈస్ హియర్. ఇది మల్టిప్లై చేస్తే ఎంత వచ్చింది మీకు? 82,418. 82,418 తీసేస్తే మనకి వాడు ఎంత కాంట్రిబ్యూట్ చేసిండో తెలుస్తుంది. 940. This is approximately 1,94,949 rupees he added on that particular day. Okay, that is the amount he added, additional amount he added here, so that he got 3 lakhs. So here we applied a future value of single cash flow or multiple cash flows. Single cash flow only. It was future value of single cash flow. So in your notebook you can present a answer for question number 3A. Three dates are relevant here for us. What are the 3 dates relevant? 1st April 2009, then 1st October 2009, date of closing the account first, then 1st October 2010. Here investment amount, present value here. 80,000 rupees he invested at 6% per annum compounded quarterly. This closed, account is closed. So 6 months is the investment period. So what is the future value of this one? Future value is equal to 80,000 into 1 plus 6 by 4 we can do, 6 by 4. 4 times compounding in a year, whole power 0.5 into 4. 6 months period, no 0.5 means. Or 6 by 12 also you can present. 6 by 12 into, ila kuda cheyochu. 6 by 12 into 4 times compounding. 4 ones are, 4 threes are, 3 ones are, yes. So 80,000 into 1.015 whole power 2. So maturity value is how much? I think we got 82,480. Add additional amount. Additional money contributed is, we don't know, question mark. This total money, total investment, this one, question mark. This he invested for invested for 1 year at 8% per annum compounded half yearly. 8% per annum half yearly. And this investment gave him a future value is equal to 3 lakhs. That investment gave him future value equal to 3 lakhs. Calculation of additional money contributed on 1st October 2009. Calculation of additional money contributed on 1st October 2009. Future value on 1st October 2010 is equal to present value on 1st October 2009 into 1 plus periodic interest rate whole power n. So this he gave 3 lakhs is equal to this x anukunte into 1 plus 8% divided by how many times compounding will happen in a year? 2 times. Okay, 1 year into 2 times. 3 lakhs is equal to x into 1.04 whole power 2. Therefore, x is equal to 3 lakhs divided by, just use this calculator, whatever I am telling you, do it. Just do this calculation, everyone. Take your calculator. Everyone. Have you taken? Press first AC. All clear. Pressed? Yes. Press 3 lakhs now. 3 lakhs. Press 3 lakhs. Divided by 1.04 equal to, again equal to, tell me the value. 2 lakhs 36,000. 367. That is your present value. Uses of calculator this is. Okay, to save time. Now we got to know what is the present value on which date. That is amount invested on 1st October 2009 is equal to 2,77,367. Amount contributed on 1st October 2009 is equal to amount of investment minus maturity proceeds. 2,77,367 minus our maturity proceeds on the day is 82,480. 1,94,949. Now for all further calculations, you should know how to use your calculator. This was a simple one, so we are able to manage. But for all other cases, you should know how to use your calculator. Completed, ma? So we'll be, next class we'll be spending on how to use this calculator with all the functions in your calculator. There are many functions. What are those? GT, MU, MRC, M plus, M minus, MU, markup. Is it there, markup? MU function is there, button. Yes, do you know what is the purpose of that button? For example, Telsa Nico? Okay, see, all these days you did not use that function, MU function. This is called as markup. I will give you notes for this. I will also give you notes for this so that you can use it for future purpose. For example, total cost is 1,20,000. Profit margin is 20% on sales he has given. Profit margin is 20% on sales. So what we people do, because it is on sales, we assume selling price as 100. Then profit on that is 20 means what is the cost? 80. So this cost is equal to 80 means how much is your sales? So sales is equal to 1,20,000 divided by 80 into 100. We will get the answer. What is the answer? 1,50,000. But in your calculator, how to get this straight away? Take your calculator, everyone. First press 1 lakh. 1 lakh. Okay. Now press MU. MU press చేయండి 20% కొట్టండి మీకు ఆన్సర్ వచ్చేస్తుంది 20% ప్రెస్ చేయండి ఈక్వల్ టు కొట్టండి ఎంత వచ్చింది ఈక్వల్ టు కొట్టకపోయినా కూడా వచ్చేస్తుంది ఎంత వస్తుంది 1,25,000 వచ్చిందా హౌ మచ్ యూ ప్రెస్ వాట్ మా 20% ఆన్ సేల్స్ నో 1 lakh I said 1 lakh 1,20,000 is our total cost no all clear AC first 1,20,000 is our total cost no MU ప్రెస్ చేయండి ప్రెస్ చేసిన తర్వాత 20% కొట్టండి అంతే వచ్చిందా సో దట్ ఈస్ ద పర్పస్ ఆఫ్ MU బటన్ సో వెన్ ఎవర్ ప్రాఫిట్ ఈస్ గివెన్ ఆన్ sales we know only cost యూ వాంట్ డైరెక్ట్లీ సేల్స్ వాల్యూ, ఇంతకుముందు ఏం చేసేవాళ్ళం మనం, ఆన్ కాస్ట్ కన్వర్ట్ చేయడం ఇదంతా చేసేవాళ్ళం కదా. నౌ డైరెక్ట్లీ యూ కెన్ డూ ఇట్ లైక్ దట్. Many calculation tricks, various features of calculator we have included here. See some simple calculations here. Suppose there is a common addition. Say 10, here in this case 10 rupees is commonly added. Okay, so 20 plus 10, how much? 30 rupees. Now you want to get 10 rupees only added for every figure. Now 15 plus 10, how much? What is the answer we should get? 25. 20 plus 10, 30. Take your calculator, everyone. All clear first. Okay. First 20 plus 10 plus equal to, how much you got? 30. No. Now our calculation starts. Now you want to know how much is equal to 15 plus 10. You want to add this 10 to 15. Now just press 15. 15 equal to, you press. How much you got? 25. Did you get 25? That means automatically that 15 got added to this 15 or not? If 10 అనేది automatically దీనికి యాడ్ అయిందా లేదా? 15 ఈక్వల్ టు కొడితే నెక్స్ట్ 20, ప్రెస్ 20 ఈక్వల్ టు 30 వచ్చిందా? వచ్చిందా చూడండి క్యాలిక్యులేటర్లో. Did you get 30? That means what happened here? When you first pressed 20 plus 10, in its memory, calculator will have memory. In that memory, what is added? Plus 10 is added. So that is the reason when next time, when you are taking 15 is equal to, automatically it is adding what? Plus 10. ఇప్పుడు కావాలంటే మళ్ళీ చెక్ చేయండి. 40 plus 15 కావాలనుకోండి, మీరు ఏం చేయాలి? జస్ట్ 40 ఈక్వల్ టు కొట్టండి. 40 plus 10, 50 కదా రావాల్సింది మనకి ఆన్సర్. 40 ఈక్వల్ టు ప్రెస్ చేయండి. ఎంత వస్తుంది? వచ్చిందా? 50 వచ్చిందా? సో వెన్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ టు యాడ్ వన్ కామన్ ఫిగర్ టు ఎనీ ఫిగర్, కామన్ ఫిగర్ యాడ్ చేయాలనుకోండి, మనం ఏం చేయాలి? జస్ట్ ఏ నెంబర్కి అయితే యాడ్ చేయాలి, టు విచ్ ఎవర్ నెంబర్ యూ వాంట్ టు యాడ్ దిస్ కామన్ ఫిగర్, ప్రెస్ దట్ నెంబర్, జస్ట్ ప్రెస్ ఈక్వల్ టు. బట్ ప్రయర్ టు దట్ వాట్ యూ షుడ్ డూ? ఫస్ట్ యూ షుడ్ డూ వన్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ ఆర్ నాట్? సో ఇనిషియల్లీ వీ హ్యావ్ డన్ దట్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్ ఓన్లీ. ఫస్ట్ 20 ప్లస్ 10 చేసాం కదా అది. సో మెమరీలో ఇప్పుడు ఏ సేవ్ అయింది? ప్లస్ 10 అనేది ఆటో సేవ్ అయిపోయింది. అందుకనే మనం 15 ఈక్వల్ టు కొట్టగానే ఎంత వచ్చింది? 25 వచ్చిందంటే మీనింగ్ ఏంటి? క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ ఏం చేసింది? వాట్ క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ హెస్ డన్? 15 automatically in the memory, plus 10 is there, no, that got added. This is for plus function. Which function this is? Now minus function, same. Do this calculation. All clear? On 30 minus 10, how much you are getting? 20. No, in your memory, calculator memory, what is saved now? Minus 10 is saved. Now I want to know 40 minus 10, how much I should get? 30. Now just press 40 equal to, how much you are getting? Next 50 equal to 40. So whenever you want to subtract a common figure out of any figure, this is a shortcut we can use for calculator. Ade same for we can use division also. Check this. All clear? First 30 divided by 10. So divided by 10 is auto save now. ఇప్పుడు మీకు 50 divided by 10 కావాలి ఆన్సర్. జస్ట్ ప్రెస్ 50 ఈక్వల్ టు, how much you got? 5 you got. 20 equal to, are you getting? Plus minus division, but into it is different. Into case it is different. See for into case, now always into should come first. Whichever number you want to multiply repeatedly, that number first you should press. Now 5 into 10, all clear? First 5 into 10. In this case, you know, your calculator will take which one in its memory is this one. First digit only it will take. Into case 5 into memory lo undi. ఇప్పుడు మీకు ఏదైనా number if you want to multiply with 5, say for example 2 into 5, how much? 10. Now press 2 equal to, how much you are getting? Are you getting? 5 equal to, వస్తుందా? ఇంటుకు మాత్రం ఫస్ట్ అదే ప్రెస్ చేయాలి. For into always that digit which you want to multiply repeatedly, that you should take. Understood? Like this we have written almost different buttons whatever we have in our calculator, so that we will write. You have GT button in your calculator, very useful GT button. M plus M1 minus also we can use without the GT button, but GT will be always useful. In next class we will know the purpose of GT, remaining functions also. Okay, right. Thank you.